Okay, good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the City of Oklahoma City SNI Resource Fair. We know you could be doing a lot of things this evening. It's absolutely gorgeous outside, so we really appreciate you for joining us. You're going to learn a lot tonight. This is intended to be a 1-hour show. We're going to try to stay that way. It's going to be difficult, but we're going to try because we have a lot of information to share. First things first, I would like for Ana Herrera Danga from Neighborhood Lines to share a message with our Spanish-speaking friends. So I'm going to pause for just a moment while she does that.
Thank you, Shannon, for everyone that is joining us in Spanish. I need to switch to Spanish. Muy buenas tardes a todos los que están acá con nosotros esta noche. Les queremos decir que vamos a tener esta presentación en español, así que si quieren escucharla en español, en la parte de abajo de su pantalla hay un icono que se dice interpretación, y si usted presiona ese icono puede seleccionar a escuchar esta presentación en español. Thank you, Shannon.
Thank you, Ana. This is our first time being able to present this in Spanish or any workshop in Spanish, so we are super excited about this. As we've always wanted to make sure that we include our Spanish-speaking neighbors. So we hope that you learn a lot. We also hope that the slides are already online, by the way, for everyone, but we hope that the Spanish-speaking version will be online in the near future. So we will let you know when that becomes available. Again, feel free to print off the slides. Everything that you're going to see tonight is you will be able to print or save and share. There'll be a lot of contact information. I'm going to go through a lot of information very quickly tonight, and so feel free to refer back to those slides if I go too quick, or if you miss something or you need some contact information. This is tonight's agenda. We're going to cover about 11 things, including hopefully a little bit of time for your questions and answers. Feel free to add your questions to the chat section of Zoom, and we will do our best to get all of them answered. If we don't get them tonight, we'll email you with your answers. Next, we're going to have a quick welcome message from Sharon Gordon Ribeiro from Oklahoma City HUD Field Office. Sharon, are you on the line? Okay, I don't see her on the line right now, so we're going to go ahead and skip to the next item, and hopefully we'll come back to Sharon in a minute. Sharon is the U.S. HUD Oklahoma City Field Office Director, and so our funds that we utilize to pay for all of our SNI programs originate from HUD, and they've come to us in the form of CDBG funds, Community Development Block Grant funds, and home funds. So we are super thankful for the partnership that we have with the Oklahoma City Field Office. So a little bit about the Strong Neighborhoods Initiative. This is essentially a neighborhood revitalization program. For those of you who are new to SNI, for example, Metro Park, by the way, woo woo, we're super happy that you guys are here and part of the SNI family. We realize this may be your first taste of SNI, so hopefully you'll learn a lot tonight. But we are super proud of your neighborhood leaders like Christina, who helped carry the torch for you, and went through the entire application process to have you approved. So we hope you learned a lot tonight, and we're super excited, Jennifer and I, to be working with you guys. Jennifer Sylvester is on this call as well. Jennifer, you want to say hi?
Hello, I'm Jennifer Sylvester, and I help Shannon manage the Strong Neighborhoods Initiative. So thanks for joining us.
Yep. None of this would be possible without Jennifer's help, so super thankful for her. And on the left side of the screen, you'll see all of our social media links. And feel free to follow us on all of those. We post fairly regularly when we need to. And we have special events. They're going to be posted on those 4 sites, the website, as well as our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. A little bit about SNI. I'm not going to go through these in detail, but just so for those of you who are new to SNI, the intended outcomes for SNI is essentially to tip declining neighborhoods towards self-sufficiency. And we utilize every tool we can with community engagement, with sound planning strategies. Jennifer and I are both city planners, and we work hard at implementing your strategies that you and needs. Well, we've worked hard to develop the strategies that address the needs in your neighborhoods. These are the 3 neighborhoods. Now we include College Hill within Capitol Hill, and it's a tiny little neighborhood within Capitol Hill. And so I would be remiss if I didn't say tonight that our hearts are super heavy. We lost a dear friend today in Mary Sosa, and just want to recognize that for a moment, that she was an absolute tiny and mighty but notorious woman. She was tenacious in getting the application completed, the whole process completed for SNI. Jennifer and I have grown to love her. She has been a fantastic leader. She has the softest voice, the biggest heart, and we are going to miss her tremendously. Without further ado, I just found out that Sharon Rivero is on the line. So Sharon, would you like to say a couple of words before we move any further?
Yes, good evening. Is the sound okay? I'm sorry, I jumped on a few minutes late.
That's okay. We can hear you.
Good evening. And again, HUD is happy to join with Oklahoma City as a partner where we work together to improve neighborhoods and improve the community, as well as improve the lives that are in those neighborhoods. HUD, we continue to work from home. We went out March 20th, so we, along with the city, are about 6 months out of the office. So last week we did provide a congressional briefing to our congressional staff, and we just continue to work with our partners to assist them any way we can. I'm excited to learn more about these neighborhoods. It's been a great opportunity for me to learn about various neighborhoods within the city, and to actually see how some of the HUD funding and the CDBG funds are being used. So again, I'm excited to join you tonight, and I look forward to learning more about these neighborhoods.
Thank you, Sharon. I don't know if you heard, but we thank you. We appreciate your office a great deal for all the partnerships and all of the advice and support we receive from you all. Thank you for sharing your evening with us. Okay, I'm going to skip here and just briefly show you essentially what the holistic planning process looks like for SNI. So we start off with community engagement. That's the first and foremost thing that we do. It's probably one of the most important things that we do is engage with the community. With that, then we develop a strategy, revitalization strategy. This is an example of what this looks like for community or for Capitol View neighborhood. So you'll see their strategy there. It's only 4 pages. And then you see what it looks like when we start revitalization or the implementation. So neighbors are out there working hard. They're applying for all the different programs. They are participating in every way that they can. And then every year, Jennifer prepares a progress report. And what that progress report shows, and you'll see the little map there with all the dots, is every address where someone has applied for programs and has received services through SNI. And as you can see all over Capitol View, it's covered. The neighborhoods are absolutely doing their job. This neighborhood in particular, Gina, shout out to Gina and everyone in Capitol View. They work tirelessly to make sure that all the neighbors are aware of the programs that are offered through SNI and that they participate. So we could not thank you enough, Gina, and thank you, Capitol View. But that's what the success of SNI looks like, guys, is the only way that SNI works is if there is neighborhood participation. And so we look forward to continuing that over the next 5 years. This is what it looks like just kind of in a visual, for example. So here's this beautiful brand new house that was built on a vacant lot. It actually is very energy efficient and wheelchair accessible. The house was built by Positive Paseo. And this is an event where we're planting trees. And we have young students from Capitol Hill High School who came and helped plant a tree in a neighborhood that's not their neighborhood, which was fantastic. We have city staff and we have local leaders and local neighbors who are there mentoring the youth while they're there. And this was a vacant lot before. So now this is a property tax producing lot. It went from about $200 a month to more than $2,000 a month in property taxes. That's been going to schools and other things that are funded through property taxes. And then we also build sidewalks in the entire neighborhood. So that's kind of what the holistic approach looks like. It's tackling revitalization from all angles. Next, we want to talk about our partners over at Neighborhood Alliance. They are one of our primary partners. They're a nonprofit organization. They work with all 3 of our SNI neighborhoods, and they also work with more than 500 neighborhoods throughout Oklahoma City. So their mission is they want to create safe neighborhoods and really educate neighbors on what to do in terms of organizing. They want to be able to provide all these services that are listed here. So they want to do one-on-one service assistance with the neighborhoods. They want to provide classes and guidance on how to form neighborhood associations. They have free leadership programs. They provide community workshops, and they work with the police department on some spectacular crime prevention training. And they also provide monthly crime reports on their website for every single neighborhood in Oklahoma City. So if you're ever interested, you can go to their website and get more information about the services they offer and also some of the crime reports that they produce. So they're a fantastic partner of ours. And I'm going to try to slow down just a little bit because I'm remembering that Anna's on the other end trying to translate me, and I realized I talk very quickly. So I will try to slow down just a little bit for her. And Anna might be laughing right now at that. This is their pretty faces. This is Anna, Georgie, and Sarah. They also have Ashley who works in their office. And these 3 ladies are available to you SNI neighborhoods. So Anna is going to be working with College Hill and Capitol Hill. Georgie is working with Metro Park. And Sarah is going to be working with Capitol View. So these are your resources. If you have some neighborhood association needs where you could use some advice or help planning events or going through the neighborhood grant application process, these are the 3 shiny faces to contact. And their emails are here, so feel free to contact them. We do have a contract with the Neighborhood Alliance to do this, to offer this service. So they are professionals, they know what they're doing, they're more than happy, ready, and willing to help you in any way they can. So I'm going to start off with talking about some of our specific project or programs, smaller programs, and then a little bit later we'll go into more of the housing programs. The first one I'm going to talk about is our hazardous tree trimming and removal program. And these 2 programs are part of what we call our SNI Urban Neighborhoods program. Trees are an important element for every single neighborhood for a whole host of reasons I won't go into, but you all know that trees, no one wants to live, no one would not love to live on a tree-lined street, especially when they're healthy trees. But the hazardous tree program is here to address trees that are diseased, dying, dead already, or that may have that are an imminent threat to property or to people. So they age out just like we do. So it's important that we take care of those. But everyone knows it costs anywhere between $500 to $4,000 to remove a tree. So this program is for that purpose. And this program is only available to SNI neighborhoods. It's not available anywhere else. So we had about 130 applications in the last 2 years. And so we expect to continue to do this. We still have people on our list right now that we're getting to as quickly as we can. And we want those applications to continue to come in because they can absolutely do terrible damage to people and their properties. And we don't want to see that happen. The tree planting, we have tree plantings typically twice a year, in the spring and the fall. And this year we're doing a little bit different because of COVID. So we have a deadline set for September 30th. So just, oh goodness, in 9 days. So please and this is open to all 3 SNI neighborhoods. So all 3 of you, please, you're all free welcome to apply. We're going to actually hire a company to go in and plant the trees for us this time. But go ahead and apply all 3 neighborhoods. If you want trees planted, just apply by September 30th and we will get those planted for you before mid-December. The next program I want to highlight is our after school and summer programs. We have the most amazing partners in Urban League, Oklahoma After School Network, and Boys and Girls Club. They have absolutely worked tirelessly, especially through COVID, but even when we get back to normal, I know their heart and souls are going to be just absolutely in and excited to rejoin after school programming with all the kids. So they are all fantastic, as you can see in these colorful pictures. These kids are doing everything from yoga to chess to working with artists, going on great field trips. And we also work with them on mental health and well-being, and of course, all the STEM and STEAM subjects. So they are fantastic partners, and they're working right now with kids, even though schools are all a little bit different right now. If you're interested in joining those programs, because they're operating with the school district schedule right now. So call those numbers, and there's the schools that they serve. We serve 5 schools in our SNI neighborhoods, 3 elementary and 2 middle schools. If your children or children you know of go to one of those, contact one of these agencies if you need after school care. We have fantastic partners that we don't even fund. They just make sure that they support our SNI neighbors. This Oklahoma City Mobile Market is a fantastic partnership between St. Luke's United Methodist Church and the Oklahoma City County Health Department, and they provide free fresh fruits and vegetables to our SNI residents, and there's no application required. These are the dates and times that that food is available. So the last Saturday of every month, this food truck you see in this picture will be at these 3 locations. Now, Metro Park, you'll see that your neighborhood isn't listed on here. However, you can go to any 3 of those that you want to go to. Legal assistance. Legal Aid is a fantastic partner of ours. They are offering services for personal and business legal issues such as evictions, housing discrimination, landlord disputes, child support collections, all kinds of things. It is free to you. Please call them. They have an office out of the Community Action Agency, and you can contact them directly by calling that number at the bottom. And by the way, there is a new eviction prevention program that is being launched currently. Please call them if you find yourself in a situation that you are close to eviction, okay? They can try to advise you and help you through that process. They have services right now where they're signing people up at the courthouse, but let's make sure that before you get any further in the process, if you need assistance, please contact Legal Aid as quickly as possible. Okay, next slide, Jennifer. Okay, next we have Deandra Johnson. She is with Metropolitan Fair Housing Council of Oklahoma. They are a long-time partner of Oklahoma City's. They handle everything related to housing discrimination. And I'm just going to hand it right over to Deandra.
Well, hello. As Shannon said, I'm Deandra Johnson. I am the staff attorney at Metropolitan Fair Housing Council of Oklahoma. We are the only full-service private nonprofit in our state dedicated to fighting housing discrimination. We are a small team, most of which are probably on the call. We've got our executive director, Ms. Mary Doolin. We have Shafiq Islam. He's our enforcement director, Ms. Kathy Fee, our intake supervisor. Lorena Machado, she is our fiscal and contract manager, and then Ruth Sanchez, she's our LEP coordinator, and that is our entire agency. So in summation, I'll talk a little bit about what we do. A quick overview, if you will. So we respond to complaints by Oklahomans who have been treated unfairly in a housing-related transaction. So that could be in rentals, sales, financing, lending, appraisal, insurance. When we counsel complainants by phone, we also use virtual media platforms. And for now, because of COVID, we're primarily going to be working via phone and virtual media. We used to do face-to-face, and hopefully one day we'll get back to that quickly. The Fair Housing Act is also referred to as Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act of 1968. And it says you cannot discriminate against someone in housing based on their membership in a protected class. Those classes include race, color, national origin, sex, religion, disability, and familial status. Hopefully I didn't miss one. So We conduct in-house complaint mediations to resolve complaints voluntarily between parties. When we first get a complaint, we're not going to first jump to litigating. We really want to work it out because we understand that litigation is a process that can take 1 to 2 years to resolve, and that the people who come to us are usually in need of immediate or emergency intervention of some kind. So we first try to do in-house complaint mediations. Now, if that doesn't work, then we file our complaints pursuant to the Fair Housing Act or companion state laws, first with HUD, because we are HUD funded and HUD has been charged with investigating these kinds of complaints. And then secondly, if it is something that's particularly egregious, we may refer it to a cooperating Metro Fair Housing attorney or to me for litigation. We investigate complaints by alleged victims. I talked about the protected classes already. And we also we can file with HUD in state or federal courts. We can go to the United States Department of Justice and the Oklahoma Attorney General Office. We all work together to enforce these fair housing laws. The Oklahoma Attorney General's office specifically works with us on the Oklahoma housing laws. Their companion law is called the Oklahoma Anti-Discrimination Act. We conduct fair housing, fair lending, and renters' rights seminars and training events for the community, and everything that we do is completely free of charge. That includes housing law clinics, that includes emergency landlord-tenant interventions, usually where there's some kind of an interplay with fair housing law. So if you need any of those services, we are here and we are at your service. That's all I've got.
Wonderful. Thank you, Giandra.
Thanks.
Like I said, they've been a longtime partner of Oklahoma City's, and they produce a report annually that tells us generally what kind of complaints that they receive and what kind of remediation that they perform to assist residents. And it's pretty astonishing. And at some point, we'll start to share more of the data that comes out of that. But we truly appreciate you, Giandra, and Mary, and everyone at Metro Fair Housing for everything that you do. It's a vital service.
We appreciate you and your partnership.
Thank you. Okay, next is Nicole Knox on the line. Nicole is one of our hardworking staff members. She's our professional at housing rehabilitation. She's going to explain to you a little bit about each of these two programs.
So I work in the planning department and the housing rehab division with Jennifer and Shannon at the city of Oklahoma City. We have two different programs that are actually throughout the city, and specifically I'll talk about the ones here for SNI neighborhoods. The first one is our home exterior maintenance program, and it's a grant program with no loan or payments, and it's up to $23,000. And this program helps correct any code violations that the outside of your house may have. And those are usually things, I think probably all of us have some sort of code violation in our own homes. And so this is really anything that needs to be rehabbed or repaired. So once you qualify for any of our programs, one of our rehab specialists would come do an inspection and we could find out exactly what your home may need. The other program that we have is the owner-occupied housing rehabilitation program, and that is a loan program, but the name of it is kind of a little bit tricky. It makes you think that you have to make some kind of payments, and you don't. It's actually a forgivable loan, and as long as you stay in your home for 5 years and you keep homeowners insurance on your home, then we will automatically forgive whatever rehab loan that we put on your home. So it's up to $60,000, and this program is designed to help bring your home up to minimum property standards. So they will look at all of the fixtures in your home, they will look at all of the services, and they'll just make sure that everything is up to minimum property standards. They will make sure that your electrical is working, your heat. I mean, they just look at everything. Our rehab specialist will come do an inspection, and then they'll be able to get contractors to come and help you correct any of those issues that your home may have. If you have any questions, just give our office a call and we can go over the details. And if you have any friends or family that are outside the SNI neighborhood within the city of Oklahoma City, these programs may be available to them as well.
Thank you, Nicole. Those programs are absolutely essential for our neighborhood residents. Most of our neighborhood houses are more than 45 years old. They're a lot older and they're going to need a lot of work. So these programs, we know most people, if they could afford to make some of these repairs themselves, they absolutely would. And the next programs we're going to look at are some that are offered by Community Action Agency. And these are simply emergency home repair, home weatherization, and green home loans. And we don't have a guest speaker for this one. I know they're on the call in case we have questions, but these are very important. So emergency home repairs, this is for when you come up with a problem that you're not expecting. Okay, so it could be a roof leak, maybe all of a sudden you need a wheelchair ramp, or heat, electric, plumbing issues come up. You still have to meet the income guidelines. You still have to go through the whole process of applying, which is pretty in depth. I won't lie. On all these programs, there are going to be income requirements. For all the housing programs, there are going to be income guidelines and home ownership, proof of home ownership that you're going to have to provide. So be prepared that you will have to apply for these programs, but they are absolutely essential and helpful to you, because one of our goals is for our neighborhood residents to be able to age in place. We want you to be able to live in this neighborhood till the end of your days, for as long as you need to, as long as you want to. And so we want to make sure that those repairs are made if they need to be made. So weatherization and green home loans are important too, because who wants to waste $300 to $500 a month on utilities when you can apply for one of these programs and potentially have your windows caulked and glazed and insulation added or weather stripping added, or maybe if on the green home loan program you can actually borrow money for a certain term for 3% interest to have some of those energy efficiency measures taken care of. So please take close look at those programs, and to the left you'll see Community Action's phone number, and when you call them, mention what specific program that you are interested in. They have dozens of programs at Community Action. Just call that number and ask for the particular program that you need. And they have a lot of great information on their website too. Next is Alejandra Martinez. She's going to talk to you about the home down payment and closing a cost assistance program. And they offer it there at Community Action, and they also offer it at NHS. On the next slide in a minute, you'll see the NHS contact information as well. Alejandra, you'll take it away. You do a fantastic job explaining how this program works.
Thank you, Shannon. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm just going to go and do a quick overview of our down payment and closing cost assistance programs offered through our agency and neighborhood housing organization as well. You can be eligible to purchase up to $147,000 in existing homes and $238,000 in new construction. The down payment assistance that you could receive is up to $14,999. That goes towards your down payment and your closing costs. Ideally, we would like to assist with 10% down payment, but anywhere between 5 to 10% down payment is what we can assist with. You're not required to be a first-time home buyer. You will just have to be living in the home, or that home that you use the assistance with would have to be your primary residence when you're using our assistance. You do have to attend a home buyer education workshop, which there are some online options that are self-paced. There's online options through Zoom that are live and take place at a certain date and time, and then in person as well. We have ours a few days that are not listed on our website. October 12th through the 15th, we've added a workshop for every one of those dates to accommodate for more participants, since we are limited to how many we can actually have in person. But there are some online options. Call me and I can give you information on those as well. We do have income guidelines, which are listed on the right-hand side. Depending on the number of people living in your household, you would have to make less than that amount listed. You do have to qualify for a loan with a bank credit union, mortgage company to purchase a home. So as long as you can qualify for a mortgage to purchase a home and you meet our guidelines, the home is in our areas, because we do have specific funding areas, you could receive the assistance. And you do have to live in the home for a 5-year affordability period. It does have to be your primary residence. And it also has to pass an inspection. So those are our main requirements, but give me a call for more information. My email is listed there as well. If you want to send me an email, that's fine too. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Thank you, Alejandra.
You're welcome.
And this next slide has her contact information, as well as Amanda Johnson's, who works for NHS. And both of these agencies basically work under the same parameters for down payment assistance. So, and there are the next 2 classes listed on this page. You see there at the bottom. And the homebuyer education class, if you're a first-time home buyer, you are required to go to those classes before you can receive the down payment assistance, like Alejandra said. So,
yes, that's
and
correct.
It's a good idea anyway, guys. If you're interested in buying a house, the process can be ominous. They can help you through it. They are the experts. They'll walk you through it. And you may leave the homebuyer education class deciding that you're not ready to buy a house, and that's okay too. It's okay to rent too for a while. But those classes will get you prepared to buy a house, and these 2 agencies are here to serve you. So I strongly suggest you contact them if you're interested in buying a house, or if you know of people who, homeownership is absolutely key to SNI, to revitalization of neighborhoods. So if you know of people who are looking to buy homes in your neighborhoods, please, we want to increase the number of homeowners in the neighborhoods. Please share this with your friends. Next, we want to talk about some homes that are for sale that have recently sold in our SNI neighborhoods. I will tell you, we have the best nonprofit builders and partners that I know of. They are fantastic. They've built beautiful homes that are affordable, and we are absolutely proud of them. The first one coming up here is called Paseo. As you'll see, they have 1 for sale right now, people. And so I'll hand this over to Cheryl Lovelady.
Hey, Shannon, thanks for doing this tonight. It's so important to just get the word out on what everyone's doing in these neighborhoods. So we have been around about 25 years. We started in the Paseo when it was blight, and it is now an HP district. And so we kept the name because we felt like that was a pretty good job. And we work exclusively with SNI neighborhoods because we sort of like them. And what housing developer wouldn't? Because SNI comes in and maybe they put in all new sidewalks like they did in Classon's North Highland, or lots of good lighting, or maybe they've got a new park, or they have revitalized a park. And so any developer housing, if they're for-profit or nonprofit, is going to like having a partner like that. So we love working with Strong Neighborhoods Initiative. I also love Capitol View. I live 5 minutes away. I love the Northeast side. Amazing energy is happening over there. And I sold 3 houses and closed them all on the same day, which was super fun, but I don't want to ever do that again. But great homes, great people. And for instance, if you're listening, I looked at the loan for one of my buyers, and on a brand new home, they got 2.83% interest. Their payment is $640 on a brand new home. They only brought $379 to the table because they got down payment assistance, through our DPA program that Alejandra was talking about. And she is so awesome and so nice. We send people to her all the time. They brought $379 to the table. So this is within reach. Homeownership is within reach, and we want these neighborhoods to be seeded with families and homeowners because they bring up the neighborhood. We've had 3 rehabs on one street for every house that we build because people start fixing up their homes, not us, but them. And so it'll improve a neighborhood quickly. I have one more house for sale. If Alejandra would just get some of my people that are interested in this house certified, Alejandra, dadgummit, get them through the system. We'll get this one sold, and I'm ready to start 4 more in Capitol View and 1 in Capitol Hill. So I'm excited about that. And the door on the house for sale is now black as of today. We got it painted. It's almost done. It's within like a day of being done. So put the word out on this house that's for sale. How's that, Shannon? You need anything else?
That's fantastic.
Thank you. And I put my shirt on for you, man. I mean, I'm here. I'm in uniform. I'm on the team.
You always are, Cheryl. We appreciate you so much. And Cheryl, by the way, is also the executive director for the Oklahoma Afterschool Network, another one of our partners who provides after-school programming. So she wears a couple of hats and then some. So we appreciate you, Cheryl.
Got a big head.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, our next housing partner that builds beautiful affordable housing is Progress OKC. Is Mariana on the line? I don't see her on here right now. So these are 3 homes, 2 of which have sold recently. I'm sorry, 1 of which has sold recently. The other 2 are on the market. These are in Culbertson's East Highland, which is a previous SNI neighborhood. But nonetheless, we are supporting her and supporting these projects. These started before SNI ended our tenure in Culbertson's East Highland. So we're happy to support them and promote her homes. So these 2 are for sale if you're interested. There's Sarah's number down below and her email address. And so we are happy to be partners with Mariana and the Progress OKC group. Next, we have JPNA and Pam Bigham. Are you on the line, hon?
I'm here.
Yay! Pam. Pam is the executive director for the JPNA, and they have 2 homes under construction right now in Culbertson's East Highland as well. And they weren't quite ready for pretty pictures yet, but we want to make sure that we share the renderings of them on here. Hi, Pam.
These are great houses. They have attached garages, which is very unusual for us to build houses with attached garages. So these are special, and they're just under 1,500 square feet with no wasted space and high vaulted ceilings. So it looks really big when you walk into these houses. It's going to be all open concept for the living areas, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. It's probably one of the biggest houses, bigger houses that we've built, and we're very happy to be in Culbertson's East Highland. We're excited about these houses. They should be about $159,000, which is a great deal. So if anybody's interested, just give us a call, and we'll, the 1621 is, I don't think the door's on it yet, so you could probably go over and just take a sneak peek if anybody's interested.
Thank you, Pam. And don't forget, you can use the down payment assistance from Community Action and NHS. We encourage you to do that, actually, to buy these homes. So again, it's that goal of homeownership and stability that offers in our neighborhoods. That's super important. And so these 3 nonprofit partners of ours are offering that right now to you and to your neighbors. And for those of you in Capitol Hill area and Metro Park, we're not building in there yet, but I promise you that if they can find some vacant lots that are affordable and they can make it happen, they will. So that's one of our goals. And these 3 partners of ours work very hard at following SNI neighborhoods and building homes, affordable homes in them. So if you know of some lots that are for sale, feel free to let one of these or all 3 of them know. They're always looking for lots to pick up. Isn't that right, Cheryl? Okay. So next,
Hello, Shannon.
Yeah.
This is Sharon. So,
Oh, hey, Sharon. Yeah.
let me just get a question on a home ownership. So if they don't qualify for down payment assistance, but may be interested in purchasing one of the homes, are the homes themselves tied into a certain income limit?
Yes, on the ones that are on the affordable. There are some market rate homes. You'll see one that Cheryl has listed that's right now for sale. That's a market rate home, and they do not have to receive down payment assistance to buy that home.
Okay, so they would be determined whether they're market rate. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
So if they receive any HUD home dollars, then they are going to be affordable. Being a nonprofit, as we will build a market rate from time to time to keep us in our exorbitant lifestyles and private jets. So we have one market rate right now that's a week or two from being finished in a former SNI neighborhood in Classen Tenpin.
Oh, that's right. That's the one. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And it's right next door to another home that was affordable that they built, and it's adorable.
And I had one question for Alejandra. And I think you had told us that even if your home ownership class was sort of open to the general public, even if they didn't qualify, or do they have to be all the way in the program to take the home ownership since it's online now?
So they don't have to be using our down payment assistance program, closing cost assistance program to attend the workshop. So
okay,
it's open to everyone. It's free. Our in-person one is, but the online options, the ones that are self-paced, which they can take whenever they're available, any time of the day, those come at a cost.
Okay.
And they range from $75 to $125. But the Zoom in live options, those are free as well, but are through neighborhood housing services.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Great question, Sharon.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions for our builders, our nonprofit builders? On the next slide is a list of a lot of our partners, the next two slides actually. And so again, on one sheet, you can see their contact information, Cheryl, Pam, and Mariana, as well as Alejandra, Tori Rogers, actually Amanda Johnson over at NHS, and then Oklahoma Housing Finance Agency also has down payment assistance programs available if you're interested. And they go through approved lenders, but this is a great slide here because it has their websites and all their contact information on it. Next slide is the same way. So this has Nicole, Bob Robertson over in Community Action. The Housing Authority has a fantastic family self-sufficiency program that they offer. Of course, we have Giandra Johnson's contact information. And these next two I want to point out, Richard Kling and then Michael Figgins over at Legal Aid. Those are both legal assistance programs, and they can help you with Landlord-Tenant Act questions that you may have. They can help you with some contractual issues or all kinds of things. And so, but Richard in particular, he handles mostly evictions. So if there's a question you have about evictions, boy, I tell you what, he is definitely a great go-to, as well as Legal Aid. Obviously, they have a great amount of experience as well. So either one of those agencies you can contact if you need assistance, some legal assistance. I wanted to share this slide with you because a key part of SNI and a part of revitalization is, of course, sometimes we have to call in our neighbors for high grass and weeds or abandoned vehicle or something that is a property maintenance violation. So we hate to do that because the first thing we want to do is try to help out our neighbors. It may be an ugly neighbor who just hasn't had the ability to be able to mow their yard or fix something. And it's always a good idea to ask them first, what's going on, or if there's anything you can do to help them. But if that's not an option, we encourage you to contact the Oklahoma City Action Center. So you can contact their website, you can call them, you can email them, you can even text your concerns during the weekdays, and you can also follow them on Twitter. They also have the OKC Connect app And these links on this slide are active, by the way. So if you have this PDF in front of you on your screen, you can click on it and go straight to the app and download it on an Android or Apple phone. So you can report any of these issues on any of these different ways. So there's really no excuse. So put this number in your phone. If you have, for example, a landlord who is in your neighborhood who they just have not maintained their property well, and the tenants are struggling, whatever, just report it. And then you can actually follow it. They will send you a case number and you can follow to see, what actions are taken, if any. If they find if code enforcement finds a violation, the person has about 30 days to respond and to remediate that problem. So there's a whole process, but the first thing you should do is talk to your neighbor, see what the problem is. If you can see if there's anything you can do to help. If that's not really an option, then report them. That's one of the key things we have to do is report these things so they get cleaned up.
Shannon?
Yes.
Let me add that it is anonymous. When you're on the app, you do not have to say who you are or anything else. The app geocodes you where you are. And so you're sitting in front of a house that has violations. It already knows where you are. You add it in. It does not take but a few seconds, but there's not, your name's not attached to it. So I think that's an important point.
It really is. Thank you, Cheryl, for pointing that out. That is super important. Yeah, you don't want to, sometimes that might just cause more problems than anything. So thank you, Cheryl, for pointing that out. It is every single bit of it is anonymous. Your name does not show up on any report whatsoever. Okay, next slide. Want to mention this. If you need assistance with your rent, mortgages, electric, gas, and water, and it's related to COVID and loss of income, you can call Community Action Agency. You can actually apply online if you want to at this particular link. You go to the website and apply for assistance and get some assistance for those things. And I don't know how much longer that's going to be available. So if you are struggling right now, I would contact them right away. These are our partners, and we have dozens now, and we are so thankful for every single one of them. They've been absolutely fantastic to work with, and Jennifer and I work hard at trying to maintain relationships with different nonprofits and bring them into the fold if we possibly can. And all of these nonprofits have stepped up in one way or another, whether it's speaking at these workshops or offering actual services, or offering services just to our SNI neighborhoods. We are so thankful for them. So we wanted to highlight them and their logos and let you know that we work hard at maintaining those relationships, and we really appreciate them. If you have any questions, you're welcome to enter them in the chat. Most of our providers are still on the line, and they're welcome. They're happy to answer any of your questions you might have. This is the contact information for Jennifer and I. So please follow us on all of our social media. And again, you can go to the website for the slides, and they'll be up for a long time. So feel free to print them off or share them with others. Is there anyone on the line who'd like to say something before we go?
This is Sharon with HUD. Just want to recap, Jennifer, thanks for including the slide with the CARE Act funding with Community Action Group that they're providing, because there is a ton of funding out to support people who may be struggling with the rent or utilities and all that. So that's a great slide to include. And thanks to Community Action Group for stepping up and helping to administer those funds.
Shannon?
Thank you, Sharon. Yes, Cheryl.
I just want to recognize the best city councilor on the whole entire councilor. My city councilor, Nikki Nice, is on the call, and I just wanted to recognize her and give her a shout out.
She is.
She's
Councilwoman Nice. Are you there?
She's kind of stalking back there. There she is.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you all. I agree. This is really great information, and I can tell you now that I have plenty of residents who can benefit and who have benefited from these many programs that we are offering. And I too can attest to the app, the OKC Connect app. When I drive over potholes, I go back and I record them in the app. So please use this wisely and know that it is something that you can use to help us to maintain our communities and our cities. So if you see something that is not up to par in your neighborhood, please say something, because it's going to take all of us in order for us to engage and ensure that we are beautifying and keeping our communities safe and also healthy when it comes to what we're looking at outside. So I just want to make mention of that. But thank you, SNI. Thank you, all the partners, and thank you all for what you do in benefits of a healthy Oklahoma City and for our residents. And these homes, Miss Cheryl, I really want to see the one on 29th. I pass it like every day. So I really want to see what it looks like on the inside. And I've seen people pass
Anytime.
by and slow down and look at it as well. So, and I also pass by 30th Street. So people think I don't drive around, but I do. And I did see that there is life in those other 3 homes that you were talking about. So I've seen the chairs outside. I've seen the cars parked and people actually making it a home. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So again, thank you. Thank you all for what you do. And I love this information. If I can get a copy of it, I'll share it on my social media as well.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman. And thank you for all of your continued support. And she's one of the busiest people I know. If you follow her on social media, you'll see that. She is in the community every day, all day, fighting a good fight and being a great compromiser in so many ways. And she is a voice for Ward 7 that we absolutely needed. And so we thank you, Councilwoman Nice, for being such a big part of Ward 7, but also just SNI in general. You've always been here for us, and that's proof by you just participating tonight. So we appreciate that a lot. There are some questions coming in on our chat, and we want to encourage you to use that. I'll let Cheryl, if she'd like to answer this last question. Is there a reason for building the 2-bedroom homes?
Well, they sell like hotcakes, number one. Number two, what I call a super 2, my super 2 is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, which is 2 full baths. And what I see, and I have for years, and especially now during COVID, is the need for flexibility. And I think a 2-2 is super, super flexible. So you might have a child or two children. You might have a elderly parent that needs to come home. You might need a roommate situation. These are homes that everyone can see that throughout their life cycle and span is always going to be, is always going to be there for them. At 1,000 or 1,100 square feet, we can make them super affordable, as I described the couple that bought the house before. It does not in any way discourage families. I have, super cute families living in a lot of my super 2s. The 3 bedrooms typically get bigger, and they are harder to sell because it's harder to meet the affordability band. I have that beautiful 2-story, 3-bedroom. I'm working on all 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses for the next round in Capitol View, which is great. But we've kind of scaled them back to under 1,400 square feet. So they will be small, but that's to keep them affordable. I've had too many people come and look at that house, even at 1,400 square feet, and not be able to afford it because they make too much money or not enough, because the band shrinks very, very small when you get to that level. I think Pam will, back me up. She's, trying to keep hers in the 150, kind of range. I like a house that is between 100 and you know, $10,000 to $130,000 because people can afford them and we can get homeowners into those homes. So I love 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This house that's for sale is 2.5 baths, 3 bedrooms, great home, detached double-car garage. It's just finding the right family for it that make enough money to afford it, but not too much that they can't. So it's a little more of a challenge on the bigger houses. But Capitol View, I think, and Capitol Hill particularly need houses with more bedrooms. And so we're working to do that. And we are in this next round, I'm so excited about it, building a tutor that fits exactly the street that it's on, that was built out in the 20s with brick Tudor revivals. And the foremost historic architecture in the state, architecture firm has drawn it for me. We've been working on it. It's going to be fantastic. So that'll be a lot of fun. But we've got a lot of 3 bedrooms, you know, coming up for Capitol View and Capitol Hill.
Thank you, Cheryl. Any other questions out there? Again, feel free to contact us if you have any questions. You should now have a whole list of contact information for a lot of different agencies. Feel free to contact them directly. They are expecting you to contact them. So please do that. We have a question on here from Ms. Monia about what is the amount of money allowed for an individual savings account. And that would be a question for Community Action Agency. And I'm not sure if the person who handles that program is on the call.
Yeah, she's not on the call. But I believe, and don't quote me on this, you can save up to $2,000 and they would help you with $1.50. So for every dollar they save, they match it with $1.50 up to $2,000.
Okay. So would they just call the general phone number at Community Action Agency and ask for the IDA program?
Yes, they would just ask for IDA match savings or economic development, and Anita will be able to answer their question.
Okay. Anything else from anyone? Any other questions? If not, as you can see, you know, in order to revitalize neighborhoods, it takes a whole host of partners and a whole different list of programs and a whole lot of different services and ideas. We're always open to ideas. So feel free to contact us if you have a great idea. Right now, the neighborhood leaders are going to be reaching out to you if they haven't already about preparing their neighborhood grant. And that is for specific projects that the neighborhood does that are things like public art projects or bus shelters or any, you know, beautification project that they have that they want to do in their neighborhood. SNI provides some funds for them to do that. So don't be surprised if your neighborhood leaders don't contact you to participate in a meeting like that. And that's what that's about. Is I wish I could share with you the 1,000 or so photos that we have, all the different projects that have been fantastic, just change makers in the neighborhoods. And so please continue to participate. Please apply for all the programs. Tell your neighbors about it and stay in contact with us. We're here for you. We want to be able to serve you, and so do our nonprofit partners. So thank you so much for participating. And it is 7 o'clock. We made it on time. And good night, everybody. And let me make sure looks like we have a couple of chats here. I think they are just saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for participating. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.